Alright, so let's move on to 1.4 now, which is our compound assignment operators. We're going to still use some math. So I'm going to remove these comments here, clear my output from 1.3, and we're going to write an integer variable. We're going to call it num. We're going to call it 10. Maybe I want to increment 10 by 1. So we're just going to do num plus plus, and that's going to increment it by 1. So 10 plus 1 is 11, so we print out num. It's just going to print out 11. Yay! Is it going to do it? Yes, it is. So it's going to print out by 11. Maybe we wanted to decrement it by 1. We wanted to subtract it by 1. So we can just do num minus minus to decrement it by 1. So when we do 10 minus 1, it's going to print out 9. Now, what if I did num plus plus after my print statement? What's going to happen? Is it going to print out 10 because 10 minus 1 plus 1 is 10? No, it's not going to do that because our print statement is before our reassignment of num. So num is going to be 10 after the print statement is run. So it's not going to go back and fix it. If we rerun another print statement, and I'll put a space here because I did not use print line for the first one, it's going to print out 10 again because we reassigned 10 to the value of 10 by incrementing it by 1. So it's going to print out 9 with our first print statement and 10 for our next print line statement. So that is incrementing and decrementing. Now I showed this in the last video. Maybe we want to do it without incrementing or decrementing, or maybe we want to add 2 to 10, which is our num variable. What we can do is that we can reassign num and do plus equals to 2. So we want to add 2, and that is going to equal what num is. So when we print out the value of num, it's going to do 10 plus 2. So that is going to be 12, and it's going to print out 12. What if we did num plus equals to num plus plus, num minus minus? It's basically going to cancel each other out, so it's not going to actually really do anything. We're still going to end up with 12. Very, very cool. And if we remove this increment, not this increment, remove this decrement, so we just have num plus equals 2, num plus plus. It's just going to add 2 plus 1 together, and we're going to get 13. So we can reassign num as many times as we want because the variable is not declared final. So if I reassign this to final integer num equals 10, then we're going to get an error because you cannot reassign final variables. So yeah, maybe we wanted to subtract 2 from this. We didn't want to decrement it by 1. We just wanted to subtract 2. So we're going to do num minus equals 2. So 10 minus 2 is 8. So when we print out this expression, we are going to get, oh my gosh, it's final. I can't do this. Let me unassign it from final. So now when I do it, num minus 2 is going to equal 8, and it's going to print out 8. If we did num minus equals 2 again, let's do num minus 2, so 10 minus 2 minus 2. So 10 minus 2 is 8, minus 2 is 6, so it's going to print out 6. If we can do this as many times as I want, so num minus 2, let's do it a few more times. Num minus equals 2, num minus equals 2, we'll do it 2 more times. Num minus equals 2, num minus equals 2. Now, I've done it a decent amount of times. I've done it 7 times to be exact. Now, you cannot subtract 2 7 times from 10 because you're going to get a number below 0. So is Java going to realize you have a number before 0? Yes, it will, and it will give you a negative number. We can reassign a variable. So we could do integer value, which is not the same name as num, and we can reassign it -5, and it's going to read it as -5. So if we do system.out.println line value, it's only giving me like an underline because I haven't done anything with the variable. It's telling me it's useless and not being used, and I don't need to have it. So integer value equals -5. So when we print out this, it's going to register it as a negative, and it's going to print out -5. That's so great. If I increment this value plus plus, -5 plus 1 is going to be -4. So when we print this out, it's going to be -4. That is crazy. Maybe I wanted to multiply -5 by 3. So we can do value times equals 3. So -5 times 3 is going to give us -15. Because a negative times a positive is a negative. What if we did -5 times -3? The two negatives are going to cancel each other out, and we're going to have 5 times 3, which is going to be 15. Yay! What if we wanted to divide this answer? So we're going to divide value by, let's reassign value. Let's do something else. So we're going to do value equals minus 10, and we want to divide it by minus 2. So we're going to do value divided equals minus 2. So we're going to do that. So negative 10 divided by negative 2 is going to be 5, because negative 2 can go into negative 10 5 different times. If we did 10 divided by negative 2, so I took off the negative for value, 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So it's going to print out negative 5. We can also do this for remainders as well. So our remainders is our percentage sign. So 10 remainder negative 2 is 0, because negative 2 can go into 10. But if we did 10 divided by 6, our remainder is going to be 4, because 6 is the smallest number next to 10. Not next to 10, is the number closest to 10 that 6 can go into. So 10 minus 6 is 4, so our remainder is going to be 4. So I'm going to put up a bunch of these statements, and I want you to figure out what the value is of value when we print it. Alright, here we go. So I have a bunch of math stuff that we've just covered, and I want you to figure out what the value of value is. Now, it is a double, so keep that in mind that we may have a decimal answer. I mean, we're going to have a decimal answer, but it may not be 2.0 or 3.0 or 4.0 and so on. So keep that in mind when doing this. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to go over this real quick. So we have 16, value plus plus is going to have the value of 17, value minus 5 is going to be 12, and then divided by 4 is going to be 3, minus minus is going to be 2, minus minus is going to be 1, plus plus is going to be 2. 2 times 10 is 20. 20 divided by minus 3 is going to be 6. Now, we cannot have a negative remainder. So 6 times 3 is 18. 20 minus 18 is going to give us 2. And since this is a double, it's going to be 2.0. So when I run my code, it's going to be an error because I did not comment that. Now, if I rerun my code sooner or later, it's going to print out 2.0. It's going to give us 0.0 because it is a double. Yes, and that is 1.4.
And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. It's free. It really does help me out. In the description down below, I have some AP Computer Science MCQs and FRQ helps that I think you'll find very beneficial for this unit. I'll see you guys in the next video. I do have more videos, of course. Adios.